Who am I? I am Rochelle Harris, an effective science and special educator. An effective teacher is one who learns from teaching, not one who has finished learning how to teach. Famous quote by Linda Hammond. An effective teacher is passionate and credible. Those are two major characteristics of an effective teacher. But it doesn't just happen overnight. Great teachers and leaders are guided by principles that are designed for success. I'll share with you those 4 principles. The first principle, expectation. Have you communicated your expectation for your students? Do they know what you expect of them? What is that expectation? Because the truth is, they're going to live up to the expectation you have set for them. So if you plan to set a low expectation or have low expectations of your students, they certainly will not go above and beyond that. So do set high expectations for your students and communicate that with them. The second principle, set goals and have a vision. What is it that you would like your students to achieve? You can set these goals and vision together, collaboratively. Work on these goals and vision together. This will design a path for success that includes both personal and professional growth. The third principle, purposeful planning. Are you planning for your students? Do you haphazardly go into the classroom and do as you feel a mind and wing it? No. Purposeful planning is so important because the goals and visions that you have set, you need to plan in order to achieve those goals and vision. Are your students a part of the planning process? Do they have a voice? Make sure they do, because at the end of the day, the classroom must be student-centered. They must be able to communicate their opinions respectfully, give their input respectfully. Last but not least, the fourth principle, invest in your students. Yes, the classroom is a business. You are the CEO of that classroom. And for a business to grow, there has to be investment. For your students to grow, you have to invest in your students. Make sure your investment is something that you certainly would want to reap. If you are an effective teacher, then you ought to know how to analyze data. Data analysis is so important. It guides the way you plan. With the data that you get from formative and summative assessment, and also behavioral issues, emotional challenges, different things that will come at you in the classroom that you as an effective teacher will manage, but you cannot utilize this data usefully unless you analyze it. So you must develop the skill and become competent at data analysis. Through this data analysis, you also reflect. You reflect on your practice. How have you done today? What could you have done differently? Ask yourself those questions. Is there any student that I would have left behind today? How can I fix this? So we must continuously ask ourselves what went well, what needs improvement. Continuously do SWOT analysis of our practice. Planning is in relation to all of those things, and so it leads us to budgeting. When you budget, we hear money, but money has to do with time. Time is money. So if we don't plan our time and organize our time well, then we can't make any money, can we? So how can you organize your schedule? What is it that you need to cover at this time today in this class? Can you communicate that with your students? Demonstrate what it means to use your time wisely. How can this time management skill be effective for both you and your students? Last, we're going to be looking at relationship. What is the climate like in your classroom? Are you fostering and maintaining positive relationships? Is it only that you care about your students? Do you interact positively, respectfully with your colleagues? Make sure that you demonstrate the same principle you would like your students to demonstrate. How do you collaborate with your parents? What is the relationship like with the parents? Making sure that your students are able to model the same behavior that you hope to display. As Albert Bandura shares, that social learning is very effective and children will model the behavior that they see. As we know, children learn from their adults, right? Or those who are older than them. They learn through observation. So let us demonstrate what it means to be an effective leader, an effective teacher, an effective citizen. Because in all of what we do as effective teachers, we must bear in mind the Vision 2030 and also the national goals and standards that we hope to achieve as a people. Those must be at the forefront in everything that we do as effective teachers. Let us not forget the agencies and knowing about our ministry. All of those things are important for us to be effective teachers, knowing where to lean for support. So we definitely must know our groups and support that we can tap into at the level of the ministry. Even also at our administrative level in the school. How do you follow the chain of command? What are you demonstrating? What skill do you hope to teach your students beyond the books? Be an effective teacher today. Give students a voice. Practice reflective teaching and also analyze data that will help you to plan effectively. Thank you.